we doing? How are we all? Answer now. Did I beat this boss? I don't think I did. I probably did not. Oh. 145 stream streak? What on earth is going on there? How dare you? I want to explore somewhere else other than these ruins today because they've been winding me up. To be perfectly honest. I forget what's over here. Should we try and figure out... We can explore inside the storehouse, or we can try and figure out how to get down there again. But there's lots of big bastards down there. But that's how you get down here, and then into this whole area. Tell you what, before we do anything, you should collect scadoos. You know what? I was thinking about doing that. Oh, how are we all today? 125 stream streak. Well, that's nothing, is it? Come back when you've got 145 stream streak. We're a ways off from Consort Redan just yet. I have been watching more bad Odyssey takes. Now, I have to fight my impulse here. I'm fighting with myself. People are blasting music. Oh, I'm sorry, Glaucus, that's annoying. Yeah, Sham Corbel, I remember that. Down to the water. Is there a way over here without torrents, or do I have to walk all the way down the other end? It's probably fucking faster to go across the bridge and walk back, isn't it? Oh, god damn. Yep, nothing. I think it legit will be. Want to make a video with the bad Odyssey takes. Well, I'm making notes for it, and I've got a lot of stuff to say now. My issue is, right, that there's an element of it that is getting funnier with time. And the element of it that's getting funnier with time is that there's a conspiracy about the box office for the Odyssey and increasingly desperate ways to make it seem like the movie is failing. Is the Odyssey any good? See, I don't like Nolan's movies. As a rule, I think they're bad, and I liked the Odyssey. So he did something right in that one. As far as I'm concerned, anyway. You can tell the intelligence of the right-wing grifters by how quickly they hopped off the Odyssey is gonna flop train. Like Ben Shapiro, I'll give props to him, immediately was like, we called this one wrong, give it up. Well, so well done to Ben Shapiro, who I do think is, like, he's one of the higher tier ones of them in that he's willing to admit that he was wrong. If only for self-preservation reasons every so often, you know. But some of the others are going to increasing lengths to delude themselves and their audiences. Which I like. Because there's an element of it's all fake, where they're like, no, the studio is buying tickets. Someone on the Critical Drinkers Reddit said that they work in a cinema and every seat and every showing is selling out, but if you go in there, there's no one actually watching the movie. Which, well, someone on Critical Drinkers Reddit said that, so we all need to make a video repeating that as if it's true, you know? I haven't seen it yet, don't spoil it. Apollo Stagger. Are you kidding? Yeah, it's... And as the film continues to do well in the box office throughout the week, see, there's this... It's been a... Like, it had like a 250 million budget and 125 million advertising budget, right? And with the, like, cinema cut and things like that, for it to be a financial success, of course, thank you. For it to be a financial success, it'd have to make about 600 or 700 million, right? Which it's on track to smash that. It was Nolan's most successful opening weekend ever. But what they've conned themselves into saying is, okay, but that was just the pre-sold IMAX showings from the Nolan superfans. Once word of mouth gets out about how terrible the movie is, no one's going to go see it the next week. So they're coping through this week towards the weekend. And now I know it's going to have a successful second weekend, but they're already setting the stage for the second week cope now, right? The next one is, well, in another week, a new Spider-Man movie is going to come out, and that's going to kill the Odyssey dead. Spider-Man is going to save us. It's going to, whatever it's had up until Spider-Man comes out, that's it. It's done. So it's going to be a flop. Of course, that is not going to be the case. People, especially if it's two very different movies, like one all ages sort of family movie and one like R-rated movie. They're targeting different audiences, you know. I think if we go here and walk out, it's our best bet. The awful costumes that put me up. See, I didn't mind that. In here and up would probably be better, yeah. There's a lot of unflattering screenshots people have taken of things that when you watch them in the film seem fine, you know. Aye. Lots of this, eh? For the next while. Bonking little guys. That's the plan sometimes, Kaisen. Yeah. See, I know that, like, that's gonna just be funnier. Is that my phone that just went off? I'm so sorry. Oh my god, how unprofessional am I? It's over here somewhere, isn't it?
Hello there.
Or back on the other side.
Spider-Man is going to destroy the Odyssey and you will be so embarrassed.
Thank you very much, Fizzy. I will. No, it's... What I like about that, like, my instinct there is, oh, just wait. Wait with this one. Because it's only going to get funnier as time goes on. You know? Like, why do you need to make something quickly when in a few weeks this is just going to be way funnier? I've started collecting things from Kotaku in Action and the Critical Drinkers Reddit. Going back a few weeks, like, this is going to flop, to well, it's doing okay today, but it's going to fail on the weekend. Well, okay, it did well on the weekend, but next week it's going to be cooked. Well, okay, it's still doing well. You know, just... I love that. And also the number that they say the movie has to make for it to be profitable just keeps going up and up. For the record, that's something like 700 million, right? If it makes $1 billion, it's been very profitable, and it's like on track to do that. But because it is, and they've been saying this is never going to break $1 billion, now it's 2 billion it needs to make. Well, if it doesn't make 2 billion, which I think, what, like 5 films have ever in history, then it's a flop. Do you just drop here? I think you just drop, right? Yeah, there we go. Kotaku in action was the funniest one, because what they've done is at the top of the Reddit thread about the box office returns, right? There is a stickied mod comment from a mod that's been stickied at the top, and it's still there, which says Odyssey budget 250 million, Odyssey box office 75 million, something like that. Another woke flop, everyone. We can all celebrate this. But that was the first reported earnings from the first day. Is there a cutoff? You have to make all your money back in 24 hours. Otherwise, it's a flop. Avengers seems to be doing well in pre-sales. You know what? I can't believe anyone's still excited about any of those. Like, surely the novelty's worn off now, especially since they all look so bad. Like, just different actors green screened onto a CGI background. And you know what? They don't look good over time. They're getting. It seems like they're actually just, they look worse. There was one shot in a Spider-Man film that was famously very bad, wasn't it? With some guy, like, CGI'd onto a street, and it looked like a really bad green screen. So, like, what, you can't get a camera crew out to a street to film a guy pick up his phone on the street for, like, a 10-second scene? Domain of Dragons. This painting very much looks like there was one tree, and another tree grabbed it and pulled it down to reach above it, doesn't it? More so than the actual. Maybe it looks more like that from one. Like, yeah, I'll defend a lot about the Odyssey. I think it's very good. Mainly because I like the treatment of the character Odysseus. Alright, here we go again. Another coffin. I haven't seen the last few Nolan movies anyway, maybe we should catch up. I watched Interstellar for the first time the other day, and thought it was balls. It's just complete rubbish. Yeah, it's Interstellar, it's incredible. Listen, no shame on anyone who likes it or whatever. I just thought it was ridiculous. But, you know, it's an individual taste thing, isn't it? It's not a moral declaration. It wound me up a lot. I will say, though, there were certain scenes in it that I thought were great. Like, really good. It was just the pacing of the story overall and a lot of the dialogue. I was like, I want all the raw footage. Send me all the raw footage, and I can cut this to be good. I realized that is an arrogant thought to have. To be like, to Chris Nolan, like, no, you need to cut about 30 minutes of the last 45 minutes of this movie. Like, it needs to, like, go. It all needs to be gone. I feel like he doesn't abide by the, you know, bloating it out and then cutting it back kind of artistic temperament. He just bloats out and then it's like, there you go. That's all my ideas. Interstellar is the one about the power of love. It's kind of, yeah. His worst impulse, I said this the other day, I think, as a director, is to not trust the audience enough. Because there's so much time spent in various of his films where he is being like, okay, what if someone has missed what's going on? I need to have all the characters stand around and just say it. And it gets very frustrating if, you know, like, I realized the movies aren't just made for me, or they could be someone's first story they've ever seen, you know, like, I get that, but it, on a personal level, it gets grating. Over expositing. Right, now we're in trouble. What if we crouch like that's gonna do anything? You can't see me because I'm crouched. Turns out not to be true. No, that's flame cleanse me, not flame protect me. Which I do not have equipped. I have seen a lot of the chuds say, like, now Nolan famously makes very complex movies where it's difficult to follow along with what's going on. I'm like, are you fucking joking? He makes it impossible for you to not know what's going on. I will note, yeah, as well though, a lot of the people I'm watching say, now I have loved Christopher Nolan up until The Odyssey, which they hate. So I think it's just the exact opposite sensibilities from me, where I didn't like any of his movies until this one. The oldest and most complicated movies. Now I like that you've stopped here. I'm a fan of that. Where am I going? Okay, there's a grace over there. I actually haven't... I still haven't seen Oppenheimer. So I need to watch that one. That was his second to most recent, right? Ugh. Oh, fuck. I wasn't gonna make it. Now. Yeah. Whew. His over-expositing problem, I've said as well, is still in the Odyssey, but it feels lessened to me. There's a couple of lines that are kind of eye rollers, where I was like, God, I wish I could just tweak that. Like, one of Nolan's big things is the sort of the return home of the Greek armies after the fall of Troy is like what led to the late Bronze Age collapse, right? Now, that's interesting. I like that. I think that's a cool idea. And I think it's something else that he's been inspired by. I posted about this and said it the other day, but the fall of Carthage in particular from Roman history. Now this is worrisome, isn't it? We need to jump further than this sword will allow. But he doesn't let that just be in the film and, like, you know, he has to say it, and he has to say it in a way where it's, like, really clear that we all know exactly what he's going for. So he has Matt Damon say, "Our age of bronze is collapsing," which is a very clunky line, obviously inspired by the historical term, the Bronze Age collapse. Right? So it's like him looking into the camera and saying, "This is what is happening right now, by the way. If you didn't get it, this is what I am saying." But it's like somehow bronze collapsed. Like, if he just said our civilization is collapsing, or like something like that, if he just made it a little less one-to-one with the actual historical term. There we go. Like, it would have conveyed the same meaning, but just been less clunky and obvious, you know? Tell me that's a paraphrase. No, that is the exact dialogue. He says our age of bronze is collapsing. But it's clunky because it's just that is just Christopher Nolan pausing the movie and walking on and saying. So what I'm saying here is essentially that the fall of Troy and the Greek armies like disbanding and heading home, that led to the late Bronze Age collapse. Anyway, keep watching the movie, folks. It's I'm joining the culture warriors. See, now even though that's there, I will give Nolan props for lessening his expository problem, because that's the worst line in the movie. But there aren't too many of those. There's another one I'd tweak about the Cyclops. I don't think we can go down here. I hope there's another way to get down there, because I think this is a jump you need to do on torrent. could have just said civilization. Yeah, like, if he'd said our civilization is falling apart or something like that, right, it would be still clear what he meant. Without it being quite so on the nose. I don't even mind Age of Bronze. I don't mind that. It's the collapse word that pisses me off. Looking at the Bronze Age. Well, I guess that just collapsed. I got nothing here. I think I'm blocked. Horse required ahead, yeah. We have reached a torrent section. And there's quite a lot past that, isn't it? There's like a whole area. And a few bosses and everything. Now, see, the thing is, the concept of going for that, like I really like. I like the you know, the idea that Troy was like a sort of unifying common enemy, and that without that, with the breakup of all the different armies heading home, that led to sort of widespread disorder and destruction, right? I think that's a really good idea. It's just the overexposited nature of it which grates, you know? Well. Death of Alexander the Great. Yes, and the one I knew from Roman history was the fall of Carthage as well, where I posted about this and talked about it the other day, but Scipio Aemilianus literally quoted lines from Homer about the fall of Troy when Carthage was destroyed, and then wept for them and also for the fate of Rome, because he was like, you know, if even Carthage can be destroyed and even Troy was destroyed, then Rome will one day be destroyed. And the idea of like a conquering general, you know, seeing the destruction of his home in the destruction of someone else's home, that's very like Odysseus's character. And I would suspect was actually like that passage was a direct influence on Nolan. I hope someone asks him about it in an interview. Cato doubters in shambles. Well, I don't know how to jump that far. Do we have any ideas? Which ones move you the furthest horizontally? This is the most horizontal one I have, but Melania's sword. Melania's does, but you gotta glitch it. Also, doesn't Romina's do something? No way to, well, we can get higher, but that won't help us, will it? What if we come up here and look down at it? This is gonna be a long walk. Yeah, I don't really know what the... I haven't ever used the butterfly polearm. How much is blocked off here? It's this area coming down to here, and then there's some scadoos there, and then this area which leads down here, and then to all of this, and that's the madness area with the mants and a boss down there. So quite a lot is locked behind this horse jump. At least two, like a catacombs, a dungeon, and a couple of boss fights, at least. I still want to see if I can... I want to see everything I can do without using torrent, and then we might come back and use torrent for the bits that I can't figure out how to do. He uses waterfowl dance. Is that specific to Melania's sword? Yeah, what? Hello. Maracas hammer. Oh yeah, that throws you quite far, doesn't it? Alright then. Yeah, we'll try various things. We'll try Romina's staff. I'll try looking at it from above. We'll try... I mean, you know, we have to beat Radagon and Melania for a chance to get down to the madness area here. You fuckers. So many of them. Oh my god. We're having dogs for dinner. Oh, there's more. Chat are overwhelmingly demanding a spider. I haven't seen anyone talk about spiders, but as you are part of chat, Lexi. Spider on the left, Artemis, is still in her molt web. I removed a cricket from the cage because it seems like she's molting, and it's not good to leave food in with them when they're molting. That's one update. Middle spider, the tiny one, is just exploring the cage. That's the one on the small fruit flies, which I appreciate because it's very easy to feed them. Nyx on the right is looking big and healthy. Ida on the right thinks the Odyssey will flop. Oh my god, I just need to kill these things, don't I? Okay, we walk until we see the grass disappear and then we walk backwards. Older sister said, yeah. It's funny that my niece always asks to see them, and then when she looks at them, she goes, "Ee, ooh, like that." It's like, well, you asked to see it. Go away. Every one of these fireballs actually chips through my shield and hurts me a tiny little bit, if you notice. I'll just follow the path, I guess. Oh my god, it's so long. They're the worst. And I have no way to get away from this one until... Unless it's got a tether to its home point, which I hope it does. I hope I don't walk into any other enemies, because I'm fucked. Oh, thank God it does have a tether to its home point. There it goes. What are some other Odyssey things I know about now? I learned about a play by Euripides, which is a funny name, where he rewrites the Cyclops episode to make it a comedy, which I thought was interesting to mention in terms of early examples of people rewriting Homer. I don't care. Leave me alone. We're safe. I think he makes the Cyclops like very sophisticated, but also like a drunken, like lecherous. I think it's what's called a satyr play, where there's like little like comedy satyrs like laughing about things in it or whatever. Don't know. It's not something I'm familiar with really. I just like having examples of early rewrites of Homer. I'm gonna walk towards the castle for a bit, actually. Since I figure it is going to be very difficult to get down there, let's just explore places that are easier to get to. Yeah, the whole right-wing thing is trying to enforce like a definitive version that everybody agrees upon onto something that, for one, evolved out of spoken word tradition, like you know, different tales told over centuries often and changed and edited, and like even with versions of like quote Homer's Odyssey, whatever that means even. Oh, look at all these fuckers. There's different versions. Come on, then. So many wolves. The theory Homo is a group of people. Yeah, I was reading a theory about how like the version of it that we know today like came together. And then of course after that exists, there are centuries of reinterpretation and analysis and changes and people rewriting bits that they didn't like and changing or offering alternate takes on the characters. And like this is happening in ancient Greece as well, with people being like, here's a different version of that tale, here's a different analysis of that character. But yeah, I'd like, as I talked about with them wrecking Clash of the Titans, like the whole historical accuracy thing is just it's a subbed in race. All they mean is race. That's like that's it. It's if there's a specifically Helen of Troy poked them in a sore spot because it's a character who's famed for her beauty, and if you make that a black person, that says to them, not everyone automatically thinks all black people are ugly, and and that is really what they're mad about, you know. I was watching it was actually funny, right? Because I was watching a podcast of three like right-wing chud types talk about it, and one of them actually liked the movie but was sort of too shy to countermand his like louder compatriots, and so he kept being like, well, I think what Nolan might have meant in that scene was, like, an offering like more like realistic takes on what they were saying, and they were just like bowling over him. I felt bad for that guy. He should definitely come over to the other side of the culture war. There was one interesting thing shouted by the loudest man in that podcast, which was sort of made me aware of something, which is that for a lot of these sorts of cultural commentators, they are like fundamentally unable to discern between a character in a work and the message of the work, right? Like a character's opinion versus what the message of the author is attempting to convey. Like, in the movie, very mild spoilers for the Odyssey coming up here. Cersei turns Odysseus's men into pigs, and then Odysseus sort of bargains for her to turn them back, right? And when she's like explaining her Cersei's motivation, she's like, your men are pigs. I've shown them to be their true nature because they're like gluttonous and greedy, and they would have just robbed me and hurt me, and I have shown them to be what they really are, right? Now, these people were talking about that. They were like, this is feminist slop. It's saying, Nolan is saying that men are pigs and men are violent and men can't be trusted. And it's like, no. This is the character Cersei saying that. That's her motivation. That's what she is doing. Because that's her opinion. It doesn't have to be the message of the whole work. It's like they can't. Oh yeah, and that is of course it's in the original. But I mean, they criticized a lot of things. But they were like, so the Cyclops just kills two of Odysseus' men and then goes to sleep in a cave with a whole bunch of enemies inside it. That's ridiculous. They didn't say ridiculous. They said a different R word. But that happens in Homer's Odyssey. That's exactly what happens, in fact. Did you see it? Did you like it? Yeah, I saw it, and I liked it. I was surprised by how much I liked it. Because I'm usually very tepid on Nolan. It reminds me of Asmongold talking about the audience review scores for a movie on... Because Rotten Tomatoes, however you want to say it, swapped from displaying the audience review score as anyone, like a user logged into the site, leaves a review, and they started showing people who verified that they have went to see it via ticket apps, right? So you have to have, like, purchased a ticket to the film, and then you get to rate it after the showing, right? And, I mean, that's clearly to stop, brigading of people, like, 1,000 people all haven't seen it, but they're like, I saw the critical drinker say this was really bad, because who gives a fuck what they think? But Asmongold was talking about this and calling it manipulation and bullshit like that. And then he said, he pointed to a film which I hadn't even heard of and said it had a very high audience review score. And he was like, they're saying that this film is better than The Matrix, The Lord of the Rings, and so on. And it's like, no one is saying that. What that score means is, of the people who went to see that film, which you didn't, they liked it. And a greater proportion of the people who went to see that film liked it than liked other films. But it's not saying that you have to like it. It's like Rotten Tomatoes isn't declaring it to be the greatest film ever. They're not saying anything about it beyond, of the people who went to see it, a greater proportion of them liked it. That's all it means. But they can't handle that. It's like, if they see written down, this film is really good, and it's a film they don't like, it's like a challenge to their identity. They just can't handle it, like a different opinion existing in the world. I have a few, like, if I had to criticize the Odyssey, I'd say it dragged a little in, like, the last 20 minutes, and Nolan still over-exposits. Although he's getting better at it. He's getting better. But I feel like if he hired someone to sort of make the, you know what he needs two things really. He needs to make the expository dialogues, he needs to cut out half of it and make the rest slightly more ambiguous, and then he needs to hire someone else to direct his fight scenes, and he's golden, really. I've loved things that people thought was... Yeah, you've got to be able to have your own opinions, don't you? It's like, well, I realized no one liked this, but I did, for this reason. Or vice versa. Their whole thing here, though, is they like Nolan movies because he made Batman movies. And they like Batman. And they like gritty Batman fighting the clown. But now he's put a black woman and a trans man in the film, so he's woke now, so they have to not like him. But they don't know why. Like on like a film level or a story level, or they don't know anything about the Odyssey. It's purely just anti-woke signaling. Oh yeah. Don't blow me backwards. Oh. Very good. I thought that was going to lift me off my feet then. I would have been fucked. Lots of people don't like the Greasy Strangler. I have no opinion on the Greasy Strangler. Because I refuse to watch it. Shit. I've tried to watch Batman Begin twice now and got bored and stopped each time. Well, why is it that we stop watching Batman Begin so we can return to watching Batman Begin? Whoa. Batman Begin. Hello, fucker. Alright. Two are gonna have to play this game. Alright. I can get the spell off and block. try some black flame balls. Blech. Loving a work about the way you'd love a woman. I like that. It's rare for FromSoft to do this sort of thing, isn't it? Like, oh look, there's a monster about in the water. Ho ho. I feel like I'm getting very lucky through here. I've said this before as well, but similar to what Ben Shapiro was trying and failing to do. Like, conservatives could engage with the Odyssey a lot. I'm saying conservatives as in, see, that it's just so, in our political landscape, synonymous with racism. There's such a huge overlap that it's hard to imagine something like, okay, imagine a conservative but who isn't blindly, frothingly racist. But if that were possible, there's a lot they can have in the Odyssey. There's like the love of home and country and family and staying true and honoring tradition and sacrificing for your people. Like, all that stuff's in there. They can engage with all that. They can be, like, you could completely have a... Oh, I don't like this. That's no good, is it? You mean a liberal. But yeah, if they could see past the inclusion of minority actors that they don't like, there's a lot that they could be like, this is a conservative film, this is a conservative story, but they can't see past it. And I'm glad that they can't see past it, because they've locked themselves out of engaging with a lot of modern culture. And like, if their solution is we're going to go all in on AI recreations of popular things, no. We're going to have anything that we don't like, we're going to say Grok make this movie again, but with an all-white cast. That's a fucking historical cul-de-sac. They're fucked. They're not making art, they're just copying. Your character looks like a giant Weetabix. I am a Weetabix lover. Occasionally Americans find out about Weetabix and they look at it and imagine it must be like really bland. They're not though, they're delicious. Oh, that's a tight jump. In my poor years, I lived off cheap versions of Weetabix. Instant ramen. Boring ass noodles. God, I'm gonna have to go through all of these again, aren't I? What? It's not worth charging that up. Nice. Like, if you go to one of the cheap supermarkets and you get store brand, like, unbranded versions of noodles and, you know, their version of, like, a Weetabix, you can keep yourself alive for not much money. It's not, you know, it's not great taste-wise, but this guy is such an asshole. Oh, fuck. That's not good. There we are. There's a lot of platforming in this section, isn't there? I'm not going to bother going for that item over there. We're just dropping straight down. Grab. Grab. I'm always going to win that, aren't I? Back when I worked at a pizza place, I lived off free pizza again. Oh yeah, I spent a while working in kitchens, and food, like anytime anyone didn't clear a plate, I was eating some of it. Some people are just, they'd order like a fucking like full-on steak and then just like not, they'd like cut a tiny bit off it and then not eat it. Send that back to the kitchen. Like, the kitchen workers are going to divvy it up and eat it. God, they suck them. Alright, we need to find a lever. I overheard a girl saying her dad gave her $5,000 this month. She won't be able to pay for gas. What the hell is she doing with $5,000?
Hello there.
Funny number approacheth.
Cassie, thank you very much. I hope you're looking forward to next month. Oh, how we'll laugh. What was she driving around in a private plane? That's crazy. Oh, sorry. It's a good workhorse spell, isn't it? Lightning
Hello
Spear.
there.
Only one more month till the brown skull gets washed.
Thank you very much, Inkfisher, for the sub. Your parents didn't give you a portfolio when you turned 18. A fucking portfolio? I love that being, like, enough of a thing in their lives that they would assume it would be just true for everyone. That's great. Ugh. Oh, what are you gonna do? You're gonna throw fire at me again, eh? Big surprise. Thrusting shield. I recently reached my goal of having 5,000 euros in savings. Yeah, take it down. Take it down the casino. I do think I rarely. It's not an automatic message to being a good person or anything, but there's definitely. See, some people go the other way with it. Hang on. Let me get rid of this before I exposit about something. it's not an automatic thing that you're like, okay, you're a good person if you've been poor at one point in your life, where you've had to worry like, okay, how am I going to get enough money to feed myself or pay the rent or whatever. Because some people see it as like, well, I suffered, so you too shall suffer sort of thing, you know. And some richer people are perfectly capable of being alright on their own. But it is still a bit wild when you get situations like the, where's your stock portfolio? It's good perspective, you know. Where? I'll win that one. God, I need more scadoos. I need to be meatier. One thing I noticed, going from someone who's very poor to someone, like I'm not, listen, I'm not rich by any means, but I'm comfortable now in that I'm not worried about not being able to pay rent. And I've been able to put money in savings. Like, you know, I'm doing okay. People's perception of you changes in two ways that both suck, right? Formerly, some people who looked down on you for being poor will suddenly like you now, because you're successful, in a way that you don't enjoy because it doesn't feel genuine, right? It's just like, you used to treat me like shit, and now you're my best mate, apparently. Like, and that sucks, because you're like, oh, right, so you just gravitate towards people who have success then. And the other way is, some people who are like also poor start just automatically seeing you as an asshole for having any measure of success. It's bullshit. You get it both ways. Here we are. I love how much of the game is hidden behind this tiny little wall here. I don't want to jump too far out. Very brave way of approaching this. Snake. So yeah, it's like a duality of, hey, I like you now, when, you know, I'm like, well, you didn't a while ago. And also you get, you changed, man, when you're like, no, I didn't. It's exactly the same. It's annoying. That's awesome, Fizzy. Get yourself an extra pair of pants to celebrate. I think we go up here. This whole bit's going to be a nightmare. Also, some people vastly overestimate your success and are like, you know, in a way that's ridiculous. Like, I, from my former position, see myself as successful because I can pay the bills and save a bit of money and help my family out with expenses. Like, you know, not because I'm rolling around on a big bed of cash or anything. But I think people see, like, a certain level of YouTube views and they're like, oh, you're a millionaire then. And no, not quite. Sorry about that. We'll have to zap the bats, I think. Keep your family rolling in luxury dogs. Avoiding the edge to be motivated by money is healthy. Yeah, like, at a certain level, it's just more for the sake of more, you know? Like, there's comfortable, and then there's, like, rich to the level of, like, okay, I could purchase anything that I could conceivably want. But there are people who get there and go beyond that. Like, where you're like, if you've got millions and millions, you don't need hundreds of millions. Like, that's just, what are you doing at that point? Like, you're being silly. I fully do not know the way. Now, that way we could probably actually jump around that gap, I think. This other way we'll have to fight a knight. Let's go for it. You'll just get wealthy people out like that. But yeah, I like that. Well, I make a lot of money, but I have a really expensive mortgage and a really expensive car and really expensive hobbies. So I'm actually poor because I spend my lots of money. Like, not quite how it works. Please don't knock me over. Alright, somehow fall off the edge despite being able to fly. That works too. It's like, it doesn't... If you make a lot of money and then you spend it all on things you want, you're not broke. Because you have a lot of expensive things. Like, you know... You can always downsize your house, your car, stop spending on your hobbies if you need to. It's not like you're gonna be like, oh, my car payment, my house, I need to starve to maintain this. Like, you've got options. Now this one fires out a thing that knocks you over. I think if we walk at it dead on, it could only ever push us down that ladder. Oh, fuck. It pushed me backwards. We're gonna have to jump it. I got caught on the ledge and it just slid me off. Right. Once more. Those things are just, you have to be rage bait, right? They're all just the drill candles. Hehehe. 90k private school for their kids. Hee. How many different videos have you made 80% of? A few. One is out on Patreon. And that kind of enveloped another one that I was making. And I'm actually quite far along in my next one about bad Odyssey takes, because I'm deliberately keeping that lighter. Like, yes, okay. For me, I should clarify. There we are. Like, not as light as, like, the people I'm covering, who will just be like, I'm going to turn on my webcam and start talking about what the ancient Greeks were like, having done no research. That's all. Actually, to complain briefly about one I just watched, some guy was like, saying very confidently, nobody would ever feel bad about sacking a city in the ancient world, he said. Like, and I know that's not true, obviously, but he was like, it was accepted as the done thing. It's just what happened. It's what everyone agreed was right. And now that's not true at all. Like, lots of times cities were sacked when they put up resistance, but lots of other times they weren't. And that was for a variety of reasons. Like, some generals I know throughout Roman history got themselves a bad reputation for letting their men, like, loot and pillage too freely. And I know certain other Roman generals would deliberately prevent their men from doing any looting or burning because they wanted to rule the place that they were taken over. Like, they didn't want to destroy everything. They wanted to take over and be in charge. And thus, for, like, material reasons, like not killing everyone, and also political reasons. Like, I know, for instance, Julius Caesar, on entering Italy, was famously very forgiving and permissive on his way down to Rome with cities, because he didn't want this reputation as this sort of conquering invader who was going to come and kill everyone and burn all their cities. Like, it's the ancient world was much more complicated than they all just killed each other all the time. They were like, you know, for reputational reasons and political reasons, they would be like, I'm going to have a very light touch here. Or, on the other hand, sometimes they would be like, we're going to make an example out of this city for political reasons and completely destroy it. And sometimes that was a mistake and they went too far and, like, got themselves a reputation as, like, you know, if they punished a city for holding out too hard, other places would be like, well, we can't possibly ever cede to these people or we'll all get killed. You know, it could have a backfire effect. Like, it's just so much more complicated than that person made it seem. Balls. Alright, this is going to be tough. And that actually knocks me off my feet. Oh my god, this is going to be tough. What are my options here? Maybe I go with bleed knives. Oh, God. Infinite stamina, mana, arsehole. Alright, it's getting poisoned. When I'm back up there. Okay. We'll see if you come down the ladder then. What a bastard. Oh, I'd be interested to see Dan's thoughts on the Odyssey. Oh, don't you fucking start. Didn't even trust taking a swing at that. My review is, you oughta see it. Yeah. What the hell am I doing here? Where am I, and what's going on? I don't know where I'm trying to get to. It's part of the issue here. Hang on. I'm doing something. But I'm not sure what. I think I'm trying to get to here. I hope Dan liked the Odyssey, because otherwise he's gonna make me look a fool if he's like completely tears it apart. I liked it. All right, we want to be over there. That's where we want to be. I was wrong. Not here. So we need to go up. I'm not planning to fight what's his face anytime soon, so I think I'll be okay on this. I think they're limited to fighting Mesmer, right? You're allowed to like things even if... No, I'm not. Listen, my opinion matters more than anyone else's. But Dan's matters more than mine. There's a hierarchy to these things. Here we go. I feel bad for Dan in one respect, which is if you've made a video calling someone a fundamentally untalented person and then you at an event meet them, isn't that isn't that difficult? I'd be like, oh god, I feel awful about that. Where does H-Bomb rank? Very highly on everything I happen to agree with him with. And you can ignore him on all the other stuff. Listen, incurious person who's not interested in how other people think or feel is still pretty harsh. See, I respect H-Bump for being an early prequel defender, but I feel like enough of it's kind of come around now to where a lot of people like defending elements of the prequels, you know. So I don't think he's that out there anymore. There are, like, the stuff in the prequels I think is great. I like a lot of design and the Phantom Menace. I really like the pod race scene. I think that's very good. My personal prequels take is that the Phantom Menace is the best of them. Which it just is, isn't it? I didn't roll. It's not no pressing the circle button. Sometimes you back out of a menu, you do this, but it's not a roll, it's a step. What do we reckon here? I think... What's this gonna hit us with? It's not... It has elements of gravity, doesn't it? Gravity magic, but I think mainly it hitting us in the face with its tusks is going to be the main issue. I think rot and then hold out. don't need flame cleanse me for now. Am I even going to be able to get a rot off against it, though? It does have... yeah, no, there are elements in the Attack of the Clones that I like. Overall, I don't think it's very good, but there are there are elements in it that I'll say are alright. Gonna be a lot of finding the openings here. Three of them. I feel like our Scadoos are a bit low for this. This might be a pokey situation. Still have a flame shield. Yes, I need to drop something in order to boost our dexterity. Enough to use the pokey. Because I don't see myself getting a rot breath off against this thing. Oh, they moved it back over there. I liked when it used to rush you right when you came in the door. Damn. Yeah, if I ever fall over, that's it. I'll give it one more go, but I don't see myself surviving for like 5 minutes against it without it ever knocking me over. It's probably a bit much. I can probably do the setup in here when it's walking over and save myself some time. See, those two hit over your head. Damn. Damn, that can just bowl you over. That's tough. I could hit it with a rock breath, but it would, you know, power through me and knock me over. When it just does a sudden charge right in front of you, it just knocks you down. Which is annoying. Those two are just hits, annoyingly. Then what, it's sticking to it so it never does the rush. Does it ever just rush you out of nowhere if you're stuck right to its ass? Damn. Damn, it gains a little ground on you if it knocks you over. So you gotta close. Damn, not good. Now, how do we deal with this one? Just block it. Very good. Yeah, worried about this. Oh. Balls. Missed one. Not doing too bad, though. Might be better to come back here with more schedules, you know. Maybe let's explore this way for now. Rather than faffing with the... I mean, the ant spur does end up doing a lot of damage over the course of the rot and the poison, you know. They do, like, what, like a third of its health passively. It's just it's got too many moves that hit me to just rely on that, you know, to just reapply rotten poison again and stand there till it's dead. But I'm not clonking it hard enough. The other thing might be to not go for the like, we break its stance, and then instead of going for the critical hit, just doing this and hoping for frost and bleed. Can he freeze? He's weak to holy. Is he now? Alright. That's interesting. You know what? I want this to be higher leveled, and we have got a lot of upgrade materials, haven't we? Strong versus bleed and frostbite. Alright, giant hammer time. We've got Sacred Blade on this thing, but we might be able to just pummel it to death with Prayerful Strike. Depending on how many Prayerful Strikes knock it down. Yeah, let's try that. Okay, what do we... We've got tons of those. Stop dying, you, and do your job. Dremphin, you. And again. And again. Need more money. There we go. This would even be worth taking up all the way, I think, with an ancient dragon. Because it is one of my most used weapons, isn't it? Now I'm out of Smithing Stone 7s to increase the shield more. But we can get more guard boost out of the shield. How do they do him hitless? How many hours into this file? I'm not sure. I could have a look. Right, let's try Prayerful Strike. If you're telling me he's weak to holy, I'm trusting you. I don't know how to check the time on the file. Let's just let's go with this. Prayerful Strike isn't great against him. Well, brilliant. Let's give it a test. Getting knocked over is still going to be the problem. Yeah, anything that flattens me. Or when he dodges back. Oh, that's bad. Well. I think we can do that. I think it's doable. I think part of the issue there, it's just knowing when to go for it, you know? But once I figure out how many prayerful strikes it takes in succession, and where you can do it, yeah, that's hard. Ah, you git. Just trying to knock it down to get a minute. Oh. Alright, not there. Moving around too much. Yeah. I had a feeling it was doable. Oh, we can go this way. Oh. If all else fails, get a bigger hammer. That guy was some sort of albinoric man. Yes. Which actually helps to date the DLC because he's in here and he knew Radahn. Which means that this area must have been sealed off after Radahn's bath, right? Otherwise he wouldn't be able to know Radahn. You now have the best pokey weapon in the game. Oh, how is that? And actually, we should take a look at its move, like what it does for us, shouldn't we? Wherever the hell it is. What type of weapon is it? No, I don't know. I have to look through every... I really need to just put every single thing in. What does Loretta's War Sickle do? Ah, it's the same thing as the other scythe, isn't it? Oh, it's a remembrance weapon. Ah, I see, I see. Yeah, let's go see that. Because if it's got an Ash of War that transports us, that'd be handy.
You've done it, I see.
Yes.
What use do you have for me now? I am a finger reader.
I need a sword.
I will remain here until their dialogue ends and the fingers speak again. Do as you please. Take whatever course seems most worthy to you. Now you
Hello
may
there.
go.
Nice toes.
Thank you very much, Fad K7.
Beautiful.
Look at all this lovely crap. I wonder if any of this is any good. Is there any, like, let's see, weight 20.1.
Now do what you
It's like not as heavy, but
don't see.
okay, you pulls blade-like clumps of rock from the earth. Oh, heavy thrusting sword. Spinning gravity thrust. Oh, I didn't actually equip it. Alright. Where are my thrusting swords? Yeah. So that's good because it's big and heavy but can also poke from behind. You know, depending on how that interacts with the ground there. Let's spend our souls and then go try that on that gap. Well, actually, let's go get the Skadoos from over there. Why not? Great stars, it's just my walking around weapon. That looks like rolling. Does that count as a roll? If you spin... I like this building, whatever it is. It's just an enormous gate of zero purpose. This feels mean, this bit, because, like, you know, he's an Albinauric riding a boar. And then in the area past that, it's very peaceful. With the exception of a single Albinauric lady riding a wolf, who you imagine must have been his friend or companion. I think the big jar on the head might be a heavier, more defendy. Hey. Sorry about all that. She had his trousers. Black iron greaves made for Commander Gaius, a cruel joke, for he could not wear them. Riding atop the boar he called his other half, Gaius was in fact a warrior of Albinauric extraction. Feels mean. I got nothing against Gaius. He just wouldn't let me past that gate. And you kill... Well, he tried to kill me first. I would have just walked past him if I had the opportunity. But he runs me over with this giant boar. Has your AC arrived? It hasn't. I think they didn't have enough on hand to satisfy the orders. It's been dispatched, but God knows where it is. There's like zero tracking information. It just says on the way. Could be anywhere in the world. It's probably stuck in the Strait of Hormuz. Liar. No, I would have. If he'd just been standing there, I'd have walked past him and come up here and picked up all of the items. That's such a cool image. Their life savings were a pair of trousers that they can't even wear. Time for treasure chest. If only I had a precious... What? These are the most precious items. Fragments. I do like this big bowl to catch the stuff falling from the skidoo tree. Very good. Oh, that's so good. 2 whole upgrades. I'll have it. Also, if we get like another 40,000, which we can totally do. can level up again. What do we need? Alright. Like 8,000. What am I putting stuff points into here even? I have no clue. I do not know. I might just put points into faith. I might just go with faith. I don't think I need points in arcane, I will say. $60. I mean, I could put points in, like, more endurance. I could take endurance up to 30, just for the stamina, you know. It does put my equip load up there, which limits. But then again, you know, I always want to be. I can just put another great shield on the bar if I need to increase my weight more. Yeah, I'm gonna take endurance to 30. More block. Let's have a little walk over to Marika's village, eh? I want to have a look at my script notes. What else did I write down? Uh-oh, I just opened every single script note I have. Ugh, fuck, I opened every script I have in my scripts folder on my browser's crashing. Close, 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 close. Okay, Odyssey. It's something in here I wanted to talk about and I just flat out can't remember it. Oh, I went and looked up the video, you know, Musk's grok video, and the rowers are sitting sideways to the oars. You can see one of them is even rowing and not even holding an oar. He's sitting sideways, rowing nothing, which is so good. I'm gonna show that, and I'm gonna say, no wonder they couldn't get home. That's terrible, but I love it. I've got someone calling Nolan a hack for putting a Temple of Athena in Troy, but that's in Homer. I have a whole bunch of conspiracy theory things from Kotaku in Action and Critical Drinker, where let me see, is this still there? I actually need to screenshot this right now because I think that they might delete this. Let me just grab this, and then I'll link it in chat. Let me save that in videos. Odyssey. There we go. Sorry, I'm going to link you to a really bad comment here. Look at the one above this one. And then they try and defend it underneath. $72 million would have been a huge flop, so I stand by what I wrote. If then it later gains more. That's so good. Can you imagine that? If it gains more later, like what? If they show it for more than a single day? What else have I watched here? I watched Crowder's video called We Need to Talk About the Odyssey or something, and that opens with him saying, I'm not going to watch it and I refuse to watch it. And then the rest of the video is him complaining that Rotten Tomatoes refused to accept his channel as a verified reviewer. And he doesn't say shit all about the Odyssey for like the rest of it. Which is really funny, because it's like, I didn't watch it. I have no opinion on it, because I haven't seen it. But I want to be accepted as a verified reviewer, so I can call it bad on this website. It's like, I mean, it sounds like they got it perfectly right. Yeah, there's why the Odyssey will never make money. 1 billion box office isn't enough. The math is brutal. In this, he makes a lot of mistakes. He says the movie was in production for 26 months, but like the principal filming on it was not 26 months at all. A lot of that is like in pre-production and then in editing afterwards. And he's the one who says it has to make 2 billion now. I have to. Even his comments are like, dude, give it up. There we go. I watched the Critical Drinkers video on it, and I'm really surprised, and I realized this is me saying this, I make essentially PowerPoint presentations, but how lazy his video is, like how large his audience is for how little he said of any interest, and how like he didn't even find matching footage in the background, he just looped the trailer. Very lazy. Goes all that way. Nice. Lovely. He will misleadingly edit footage to lie in his videos. Really? I haven't seen much Critical Drinker beyond, like, I see his name and I'm like, that's a really terrible name. And I hear his performative put-on voice, and I'm like, oh god, I don't know why anyone's watching this guy, because he's indistinguishable from the see this stuff. There are like 500 channels just copying him and being like, we are gonna make whatever he made the next day. And I assume that they probably don't understand why he's popular, and they aren't. And I don't know, honestly. It's like, you don't have to know anything to do that sort of thing, or be a good editor or writer or performer. Stay away from me, you. I love if it later makes more, which is it's like, yeah, they were only going to show it for one day. They want to see how it did. You know, if it didn't break 1 million in a day, like 1 billion in a day, even that's it. They pulled the plug on it. This is a cool area, isn't it? I like this a lot. Like, I have a lot of problems with the critical drinker, but that shouldn't be his name, because what he doesn't do, right? The critical drinker is a name for a channel that reviews alcohol, right? He should be called the drinking critic or the drunk critic, right? And it should, like, it's wrong. It's not even correct for what it is. I bet he doesn't. Are you kidding? Look at his profile picture. It's him swigging from a bottle of alcohol, which is what my dad and the other adults in my family do. I'm not old enough to drink yet, but when I am, I'll probably drink a lot. Creates a small illusory air tree that continuously restores the HP of nearby allies. Marika bathed the village of her home in gold, knowing full well there was no one to heal. Was Marika stupid? She wasted FP. Cool item here. A braid of golden hair cut loose. Queen Marika's offering to the grandmother. What was her prayer, her wish, her confession? There's no one left to answer. And Marika never returned home again. Fucking vague ass writing. Just tell us. Tell us what her motivation was. What we can learn from that is that Marika's people either had that tree with that person inside it as a particular religious icon, or that they entombed people in trees when they died and then worshipped them. Which obviously, you know, Marika is entombed within a giant tree. So it's just another aspect of the Golden Order has taken the tree worship of this culture and also the various worships of various other peoples who they've like rolled into the Golden Order and made like a sort of put them all in a melting pot sort of thing. sometimes a literal melting pot, yeah. Good. I've only got 63 runes to lose here. Hello. Spinning gravity thrust. Rotating the body and charging forward. An additional input allows for a follow-up attack. Oh, you can do it again. Before landing. Can you do it with no FP? No. I love the it no worky sort of looking at it thing. Get the move. Very good. Now this says spins and it says rotates, but it doesn't say roll. So I'm saying it's allowed. Not that I think it matters too much. I think you still need ground under you. I'll try it one more time by aiming it up the cliff, but I don't have much faith in it. We might have to beat Marika. I don't think you can really aim it up. I'll give it a test first. Yeah, I think you need land under you to make use of the second spin. Yeah, we just drop, don't we? And I bet the second spin doesn't reset fall damage either. If you tried believing in yourself. Alright, I'll give it one more go while believing in myself. Yeah, see that? Like, even here, I can't jump from here to here, because it drops me down. Like, watch this. Yeah, that's not going to be doable, is it? This is like a kind of equivalent gap. Yeah, it doesn't, like, if it, I understand why it doesn't pause you in the air and allow you to spin again, because obviously that would be completely ridiculous. Probably allow you to break a lot. It just feels like there should be a point where you can, like, catch on the wall, or, like, There's not going to be anything here, is there? Like, we can get to the top up there now by going to Marika's village, and but there's no drops there, is there? There's like 1 ledge, 2 ledge, 3 ledge. What? No. I was going for, if we aim more into the cliff, maybe it'll still count me as above ground and let me do the second spin, but it really doesn't want to let me. Let's try from the top. Wait, what am I talking about? This is the drop from Marika's. This is a different drop. Let's still try from there, though. I just need to walk down a different road. No, even if you aim upwards, it just propels you along the floor. But if the floor ever drops out, it just drops you straight away. Alright, so just forward till we hit the cliff and then left along it. I'm not gonna... I mean, it doesn't even really feel like cheesing. It doesn't feel any faster, but let's get walking. If there's fudge on the table, don't get in its way. What on earth could I have meant when I said that? Some other people have done this before, yeah. I think someone said someone has got across that gap by using Melania's sword. Can apparently jump it. Which means we might just have to put that area of the game behind beating Melania. My head looks big, but it's even bigger than it seems. This is true. I have a large head. I am a large person, but even for my size, my head is large. Hats rarely fit me. They also use a lot of movement tech for getting around. Well, you can cheat. I'm gonna do this to demonstrate the cheating. Oh look, I'm doing an over-encumbered run. Cowards. They don't respect. Going for a nice stroll. The run is not invalidated. I didn't gain anything there. I'm going to stop for 10 seconds to lose the time I gained by doing that. There we go. But yeah, you can just do that. If you want to. That's also good for... You can keep a Bloodhound Step Dagger on you just when playing the game casually for getting across big, like, poison pools or rock pools. Things of that nature, if you want to move quickly. Like, the rock pool by Melania, that, like, really slows you down. Sorry to have to electrocute a dog. Listen, I have not... I have occasionally demonstrated things. But I've never... The important things are the bosses, you know? I never said I won't use Ashes of War to move around. That's just something I happen to also be doing. Oh, well, it's me told. Alright, just throw one into the ground then. There we go. They're not bothered. Well, they know they're all going to respawn the next time I sit down. Huh. So there's a way to fall down over here. That's not far enough down, is it?
Hello there.
How many hours is this run so far?
I will look before the end. More than 100 for sure. This just feels mean. I do feel bad about this. But really, it's FromSoft's fault for putting 500 wolves down here. And seemingly nothing else to even aim for. Are you going for any particular ending? Nah, I mean, the ending for this is just beating the Elden Beast, really, and then also Consort Radahn if I feel like it. The Elden Beast is going to be an interesting one. Because, of course, you can have Torrent in that fight now. Because one of the complaints about it was it keeps fucking diving into the ground and then reappearing 500 miles away, which is annoying. There's a cave. I actually have no idea what is here. Which is going to be fun for me, isn't it? There's something here. There it is, yeah. Aryan sovereignty. Magical greatsword. Additional input follows up with a horizontal sweep. Oh, that's like a different... I think that's what Rilana does on you, isn't it? There's a swipe down and then a spin around. It's because it's really not obvious that there is anything here, is there? Alright, anywhere like along here. Maybe here. Well, oh, fuck. That was a complete misclick. But since we're here, let's have a look. Because I walked all the way there. I mean, what I was trying to do is find a way from up there to drop down lower than here, which is definitely not going to be the case anyway. But maybe there's a way down from here. I mean, also, definitely not, right? Under no circumstances. We might just have to call it Melania. Unfortunately. Yeah, there's not going to be any way down. Those bastards. Everything's coming up Melania. It really is, isn't it? Alright, how are we beating Melania? Prayerful striking her to death. Does that work? Grab some ice pots for when she goes up in the air. Then just clonk her to death. Convince her to give up. She's difficult to outlast. Does she do any magical damage? I don't think she does she? Cold Great Stars could be a goer. I don't know if she's strong against Holy. Let me try that as one go. I'll give that a singular bash. I don't think we're going to be able to use Rotten Poison because I can't dodge, so she can refill her health off me if we go for a long fight. Oh yeah, the flying doubles. Oh, and she does rot damage, doesn't she? That's what you mean by that, yeah. Try going all in on the holy attack. Alexander's shard would be good here, I guess, but I think we might have to make something that's like... I had like a hellish... On the rot run, I made something that did like a fucking ridiculous amount of damage with the sword. You know, the sword with the squigglies all over it. Remember what I mean? What's that called? The Rykard sword. Yeah, that's the one. think she heals too much from this. Yeah, I think we messed her up with that as well, didn't we? Like, this just doesn't do enough damage. You know what we need here? We need more damage, that's it. So we can keep pancaking her, but, you know, it's just trading until I run out of flasks then, isn't it, you know? I actually think Blasphemous Blade might be the way to go here. Let's do. Well, I'm thinking of that basically because I'm like, all right, maybe we try guard. Let's go for a guard counter run with this. So not holy, just heavy. What should we use even? It matters, does it? We can do Prayerful Strike and then put heavy on. And then just try guard countering. Yeah, I really fell in love with Blasphemous Blade and the L2 on it, because you can do like Alexander's Shard and the thing that increases fire damage and like magma damage and whatever, and then the two-handed attack thing, and just have it like hitting like a truck, you know, and it does a fair amount of stance damage as well. Let's try guard counters. Maybe. Possibly. I feel like the thing to do there is go for charged. R2s. And forgo the shield. Yeah, she heals on blocks, which is like why she's a very difficult boss to fight with this particular build, because she's all about not being hit by her. So I think we're going to have to go glass cannon or glass hammer against her. Can't even see her. Like, look at that. Can't see what she's doing with this hammer. We can throw her up in the air and then slam down on top of her. But what then, you know? I have no follow-up to that. She just gets up and keeps hitting. Try using the ground pound. Alright, let's go jump on her head. The only thing I can think of here is to even respec for this, for Blasphemous Blade, because I remember it just melting her. And it heals on hit as well. It actually flattens her if you land directly on her, which is funny. It's got pretty good tracking on it. It ducks under the grab, actually, which is it's like not bad. Well, it got us through phase 1. What we might have to do here... I mean, oh yeah, I forgot. We got through phase 1 when we tried it first time, didn't we? But then this is an issue. I didn't have a plan for this. That's not too bad. Eh.
Let your flesh be consumed by the scarlet rot.
I guess if you back away first, you'll get out of it with enough time to flame cleanse me before she gets back up. Yep. Well, you know, that's all for next time, because I'm getting very hungry. So, hang on. 82 hours we've been doing this. 82 hours, for anyone who wanted to know. Alright. I'm going to head off and see Miss Ashley, see how she is. Oh, hang around for a minute. I'll see who's online to give him a raid. Let's see. I'm gonna raid. Lord Aphels. Don't know why not. There we go. It's playing Halo. I think the first one, but I don't know. Alright. I'll see you then, folks. On, I might be on over the weekend, if not Monday at the regular time. See you next time.